Welcome to the Daily Globe. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. Imagine the scene. The world is waking up to a new era. The first rays of sunlight glinting off silent city streets and the imposing facades of government buildings. There's a sense of anticipation in the air, as if history itself is about to turn a page. Epic, orchestral music swells as a montage of images flashes across the screen. Tokyo's skyscrapers, Kyoto's ancient temples, the relentless hum of Japanese industry. The energy of a nation in motion, balancing tradition and innovation, is palpable. Suddenly, the camera cuts to U.S. President Donald Trump, headlines blaring about punitive tariffs and economic standoffs. The world's largest economies are locked in a tense standoff, and the global order feels more fragile than ever. The flags of the expanded BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, UAE, Indonesia, fill the screen, representing a coalition that is growing in both ambition and influence. Once a distant alternative to Western power, BRICS is now a potent force, challenging the status quo and offering new possibilities for global leadership. The Japanese Diet Building stands in the dawn, its silhouette a symbol of a nation on the brink of a historic pivot. Inside, leaders debate choices that could redefine Japan's place in the world. Japan, America's steadfast ally for 70 years, is now openly considering deeper cooperation with BRICS. This is a dramatic shift, one that would have been unthinkable just a decade ago. This is more than a diplomatic move. It's a crisis of faith in the alliances that shaped the post-war world. The foundations of global order are being questioned, and old certainties are fading. The world holds its breath as Japan weighs a leap into the unknown, one that could secure its autonomy, reshape its destiny, or potentially unravel the fragile threads of global stability. To understand this pivotal moment, we must explore the history, the crisis, and the far-reaching consequences of Japan's strategic shift, because what happens next could change the world as we know it. After World War II, Japan was reborn under U.S. stewardship, its cities in ruins but its spirit unbroken. The American occupation, led by General MacArthur, brought sweeping reforms that would reshape the nation's destiny. Japan's new constitution renounced war, establishing a pacifist state and redefining the country's role in the world. This radical shift laid the foundation for a society focused on peace and reconstruction. The Yoshida Doctrine prioritized economic growth above all else, encouraging Japan to rebuild its industries and infrastructure, while relying on the U.S. for security. By outsourcing its security to the United States through a binding alliance, Japan could focus its resources on prosperity and modernization. This unique relationship transformed Japan into an economic powerhouse, fueling decades of rapid growth and technological innovation. Firmly anchored in the Western camp, Japan became a key ally in the global struggle between democracy and communism. Japan's foreign policy was cautious and pragmatic, always closely aligned with Washington's interests and priorities. Despite frequent trade disputes and ongoing domestic debates over the presence of U.S. bases, the alliance endured, adapting to new challenges. It was underpinned by shared democratic values, mutual economic interests, and a vision for regional stability. Over time, Japan cautiously began to seek a more proactive role on the world stage, expanding its diplomatic and security contributions. It championed the vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific, promoting stability and open trade across the region. Japan also took the lead in reviving the CPTPP after the U.S. withdrawal, demonstrating its growing confidence and influence. These moves revealed Japan's latent leadership potential as it stepped up to fill gaps in global governance. Yet all of this was built on the assumption of a stable and reliable American partner. The alliance remained the constant in Japan's foreign policy, a bedrock through decades of change. But the political earthquakes of the mid-2020s began to crack this foundation, raising new questions about the future. Now Japan faces a world where old certainties are dissolving, and the path forward is more uncertain than ever. The stage is set for a dramatic realignment, as Japan must navigate a rapidly changing global landscape and redefine its place in the world. Donald Trump's return to the White House in 2025 unleashed a new era of America First. Alliances became transactional. The expanding BRICS bloc was targeted with threats of massive tariffs. For Japan, deeply integrated into global supply chains, this was an existential crisis. U.S. threats extended to allies. Japanese industries risked being caught in the crossfire. The message from Washington was blunt: you're either with the US dollar or against it. Japanese officials scrambled for exemptions, but found no sympathy. The core assumption, that Japan's economic interests and US leadership were aligned, was shattered. The US, once the guarantor of free trade, now disrupted it. The protector had become a source of instability. Japanese policymakers began to consider the unthinkable, seeking new partners and frameworks. The corridors of power in Tokyo buzzed with talk of alternatives. The unthinkable was now on the table. As Japan reeled, BRICS was transforming. The 2024 Kazan summit welcomed Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the UAE. Indonesia joined soon after, swelling BRICS Plus to 10 members. The bloc now represents nearly half the world's population and over a third of global GDP. With new institutions like the New Development Bank, BRICS Plus offers financing free from Western conditions. For China and Russia, BRICS is a tool to challenge US dominance. For others, it's a platform for autonomy and reform. The bloc's gravitational pull is growing. Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam are partners. Turkey and Saudi Arabia circle its orbit. For Japan, seeing key ASEAN partners join BRICS Plus changes everything. The group is no longer fringe. It's a new center of gravity in the global economy. The strategic landscape has fundamentally shifted. Japan must now decide where it belongs. ASEAN's shifting allegiances have forced Japan to rethink its strategy. For decades, Japan was ASEAN's most trusted partner, investing in regional stability and growth. But US-China rivalry and Trump's economic policies pushed ASEAN nations to seek new options. Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam have aligned with BRICS Plus as members or partners. This isn't a rejection of the West, but a pragmatic hedge for autonomy and opportunity. Indonesia's full BRICS membership was a wake-up call for Tokyo. As its closest partners integrate with BRICS Plus, Japan risks isolation if it clings to a protectionist US. The incentive to follow suit is now overwhelming. For Japan, engaging with BRICS is a high-stakes economic calculation. The US remains its top export market, but punitive tariffs could devastate Japan's economy. Yet, inaction is equally risky. BRICS Plus now controls vast markets, resources, and energy supplies. Japan faces being walled off from this dynamic ecosystem, risking stagnation. Deeper BRICS cooperation offers access to new projects, financing, and trade in local currencies. For resource-poor, trade-dependent Japan, diversification is survival. Business leaders and officials weigh a terrible choice: the familiar but restrictive US partnership, or the uncertain but growing BRICS Plus world. Meanwhile, rivals are already forging their own BRICS ties. If Japan hesitates, it risks isolation from both old and new centers of power. The clock is ticking. The BRICS debate has ignited fierce divisions in Japan, triggering a national identity crisis. Traditionalists in the ruling party see the US alliance as sacrosanct, warning against aligning with authoritarian rivals. Business leaders and pragmatic politicians argue BRICS is a necessity for economic survival. Left-leaning groups see a chance to break free from American dominance. The media is filled with heated debate. Public opinion is sharply divided. Older generations fear losing US security, while younger Japanese focus on economic opportunity. Protests erupt. Some plead to preserve the alliance, others demand independence. The nation confronts fundamental questions: Western or Asian? Loyal ally or independent power? The government's decision will shape Japan's soul for generations. The stakes could not be higher. Policymakers are bombarded with warnings and advice from global experts. The stakes are high, and the decisions made now will shape the future of international relations. Dr. Akio Takahara cautions, BRICS is a coalition of convenience, rife with contradictions. Can Japan trust a bloc dominated by China? The complexities of these alliances are not easily navigated. Western analysts warn that a BRICS pivot could trigger US security withdrawal, leaving Japan exposed. The implications for regional stability are profound. Dr. Evelyn Hayes. This isn't just about tariffs. Washington will see it as betrayal. The economic and political fallout could be severe. Others, like Parakana, argue that multi-alignment is the only viable strategy in a multipolar world. This approach, however, comes with its own set of challenges. The unipolar moment is over, Kana asserts. Japan must adapt. The era of clear-cut alliances is fading. Remaining loyal to the U.S. risks economic strangulation, pivoting to BRICS risks security abandonment. The balancing act is delicate and fraught with peril. Some propose a third way, a coalition of middle powers upholding a rules-based order. This could offer a more balanced approach, but it is not without its own uncertainties. But this path is uncertain and may not meet Japan's urgent needs. The urgency of the situation cannot be overstated. There is no risk-free option. Every choice comes with significant trade-offs. The complexity is immense, the consequences global. The ripple effects will be felt far and wide. Japan stands at a crossroads. The decisions made today will define its future on the global stage. As autumn falls over Tokyo, Japan stands at a historic crossroads. The strategic shift toward BRICS, forced by U.S. tariffs, could break with 70 years of history. It's a gamble that could redefine Japan's global role, for better or worse. The choice is not just between economic blocs, but between two visions of the future: loyal partner or independent actor. Aligning with BRICS would be a geopolitical earthquake, but also a risk to democratic values. Submitting to U.S. demands preserves security, but at the cost of economic vitality. The world watches. Japan's choice will echo far beyond its shores. Its next move will redraw the map of global power. The sun rises over Japan, but the future remains unwritten.